What's up, everybody? Welcome back to No Faking Sports. I'm your host, David Kincaid, and it's all bad. It's all bad. Oklahoma Sooners lose to the Texas Longhorns 34-3 in what I believe was kind of in the making. I said in one of the previous videos that this kind of had the feel of when Oklahoma lost 49-0. This was a situation in which the offense was just terrible. And I'm not really so much as looking at the players as I am the play calling. I told you guys it starts and ends with the coach, Seth Littrell. Breaking news, Seth Littrell has been fired as the offensive coordinator for the University of Oklahoma. Emmett Jones will be replacing him as a play caller. Not really sure how I feel about that. Don't know that much about Emmett Jones and his play calling. I do hope that he runs the ball more. And when I say run the ball more, I'm not talking about Michael Hawkins rushing the ball 20 times. Why is our freshman quarterback running the football 20 times? I have come on here and I've come on here and I've come on here time after time after time. And I've complained about the play calling.
There's no way Jackson Arnold should have more rushes than Gavin Sawchuk. Instead of going 4 wide every play, how about we run the football? And today we got to talk about Brent Venables and the coaching search. I've already fired Seth Littrell in my mind and Joe John Finley. I'm not telling them to go away. Seth Littrell can go back to being an analyst. I don't know what he was doing last year as an analyst because he definitely wasn't figuring out how to run an offense, aside from the tight ends not being able to block. But I have decided to take it upon myself and find us a new offensive coordinator for the University of Oklahoma. I'm going to go with the adults in the room because they should know better. But it is what it is. You had your shot. Now it's time for us to find a new offensive coordinator.
As far as the coaching staff, Seth Littrell, I hope you didn't take any time off. I hope you didn't go play golf, bowling, do whatever it is that you do with your family. I hope you didn't do any of that. I hope that you got in the facility and watch football nonstop. Everybody told me it's just the spring game. It doesn't mean anything. I keep telling you, it means something. It means everything. When you come out in the spring game, you're showing your fans who your team is. And he showed us from the get-go that he was a finesse offensive coordinator. This offense was terrible. They would line up in the diamond formation. I think they're about to power run the football. No, they motion out of it back into 4 or 5 wide receivers. I can tell by the way the offensive line is blocking, by the lack of blocking by Bauer Sharp. Bauer Sharp is terrible. I don't want to hear about how athletic he is. I watched him run past defender after defender and never touch anybody when he was supposed to be run blocking. Maybe it's the way that we practice. Because we were just running left and running right and throwing to the flats. And then when we did run, we had a little success. When we ran downhill, but when we tried to run sideline to sideline, we lost yards. First two possessions of the game after the interception and the possession after that, we had one run by a running back. One run by a running back. How is this complementary football to our defense? Our defense started off playing well, but you got to give them something. You got to give them something. Seth Littrell cannot hold a drive more than 5 plays. 5 plays and we're punting. Yeah, he got a first down. Our chart reads as follows. 5 plays, go. 5 plays, minus 12 yards, punt. 11 plays, 38 yards, field goal. 5 plays, 17 yards, punt. 5 plays, 17 yards, punt. 2 plays, 13 yards, fumble. 4 plays, 4 yards, punt. 3 plays, negative 4 yards, punt. 8 plays, 19 yards, punt. 4 plays, 7 yards, turnover on downs. And finish the game 17 plays, 69 yards in the ball game. Those last don't even count. Next thing you know, we're back in pass formation. We're doing all this retarded motions. Why are you motioning so much? Improving the offense is not by making it more complicated. Improving the offense is going back to basic football, just lining up and hitting somebody in the mouth. Not, let me start with 3. Let me start with the smallest wide receiver I got in the backfield. Like they believe we're going to run the football and have him blocking. Barry Sharp on this side and the running back behind him. And then you motion into your regular formation that you've been in. Why even do that? The offensive line has enough to think about when they come to the line as far as their assignments. Now they got to wait for you to do all this nonsense, hold water, be in their stance, and then still pay attention to the snap count. You didn't make the offense easier. You made it more complicated. And it makes no sense. It's idiotic. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm happy that he's fired because his firing, although warranted, came on the heels of us getting our teeth kicked in by Texas. This is the same thing from last year. I sat here and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed about Jeff Levy. But because he was winning, everybody told me I was crazy. And then the offense sputters against Oklahoma State and Kansas. We lose. Then people start figuring out what I was talking about. I've been talking about this since the second game of the season. The first game we played, Temple, can't do no wrong. But since the second game of the season, since the spring game, I've been screaming about this offense and how terrible it was. You're going against our defense in practice. I know you're not moving the football on our defense with this nonsense. So who the hell do you think you was going to move the ball on? We got to search. I've already done my coaching search video. If you missed it, go back and watch it. I'm not doing it again. I said last year that we should have went and got Chip Kelly. Now, Ohio State lost today. Their defense isn't very good. Or Oregon's offense is that good. Dylan Gabriel's sitting over there undefeated at Oregon. No, I'm not saying we should have kept Dylan Gabriel. Because I did believe in Jackson Arnold. I still believe Jackson Arnold can be a good football player. When they benched Jackson Arnold, I came on this show and I told you this is not on Jackson Arnold. This is on Seth Littrell. Bring in the freshman quarterback, he's still with the same nonsense. What do we get? Now we finally know who was the issue when it comes to the offense, and it wasn't Jackson Arnold. Red Venables, you got to get this correct. You got to figure this out. And it's not spread. It's not air raid. You have done a good job at recruiting at the University of Oklahoma for the first 3 years of your career. You obviously don't know offense, so you need to get a consultant. If you need an offensive coordinator, goddamn it, I'll do it. I know what y'all are going to say. Who is this guy? Just because you coached in college doesn't mean you're a great coach. This is Seth Littrell's second stop being fired. Got fired in North Texas. After this debacle, I know some high school offensive coordinators. They can do a better job than him. Emmett Jones came from high school. So don't sit up here and tell me that, oh, can you do better? Goddamn right I can do better. And I would accept the job if it was deemed necessary. If you brought me on to be a wide receivers coach, a defensive backs coach, a running backs coach, whatever it was, I would come in, I would do a hell of a job. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think about the firing. Where do you think we should go next? I know everybody's yelling about UNLV's offensive coordinator. We need somebody that has experience, like I said in my video, that has either won a national championship or has been in the NFL and see how NFL offenses are run or have ran offenses in the NFL. Those are the only two things I'm going to accept. Unless Emmett Jones comes in here and he does something different. But trying to run Jeff Levy's offense and Seth Littrell's offense is not going to get it done. I told you before, you can't give me nothing. And that's what you gave me against Texas. And that's why you got fired. Peace.